You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now on the Mo Kelly Show, it's Tiffany Hobbs, the viral load.
She'll speak of all the viral things social media can bring. Facebook, Insta, X, TikTok, the viral load with Tiffany Hobbs. Viral load, viral load, the viral load. Viral load with Tiffany Hobbs.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's Later with Mo Kelly, and this is the Viral Load with me, Tiffany Hobbs. And before we get into the Viral Load, I just want to do another slight callback to the series Paradise that has been being discussed ad nauseum here on the Later with Mo Kelly show. Because I consider myself to be a part of the Later crew. You are. And we do have a text thread in which we share messages. And one of the things that was said last night, Mo, by you, was that you questioned whether or not the crew had done their quote unquote homework to watch the latest episode of the series Paradise on Hulu. I was at home screaming into my radio while I was listening on the iHeartRadio app, telling you, Mo, and then texting in the group thread that I managed to watch the latest episode. Therefore, I was the first person in the Later crew to watch the latest episode. I did my homework, and I am literally obsessed with this show.
Point of order, the homework assignment was only for the first episode. Okay?
Oh, come on.
You got extra credit.
I was going to say that's extra credit.
Yeah, okay.
Goal post moving.
Okay. No, because I said just watch the first episode. Now, if you don't like it after that, that's up to you. But the homework was just, I'm not going to say your homework was watch all 5 episodes so far. No,
you weren't clear. I did it anyway, and I feel like I should
paid
get some
attention in
credit
class
for that. I did, and I watched the episode, and I have a lot to say about it. Want to hear it?
You know, she's that student who didn't realize, okay, tonight you only have to do questions on pages 3, 5, and 7. She decided to do all 7 pages.
Wow. Or the one that says, you forgot to give us homework tonight.
Right.
Wow. Character assassination on the Later with Mo Kelly show. It sounds like the bar is in hell.
Correct.
I did the homework. You all should do the homework. Watch Paradise on Hulu. It is an amazing ride, so you can keep up with the show. Getting now into the Viral Load. Speaking of moving the goalpost, I have 2 stories to start off this first portion of the Viral Load that come directly from the Super. Can we say it now?
Yeah, you can say it. You're not promoting anything.
Exactly. We're not promoting anything. So there was a waitress, and during the Super Bowl festivities, of course, New Orleans, Louisiana was packed with revelers, people who were there to enjoy all of the festivities, of course. And that then translated to more business in their main tourism quarter, the French Quarter. If you've ever been in New Orleans, you know it is chock full of bars and restaurants. Well, there was a waitress in New Orleans at a restaurant called the Howlin' Wolf. Her name is Heather Foster, and she waited on a number of people during the Super Bowl weekend, including the rapper, singer, Post Malone. Now, when she waited on Post Malone, her service must have been something extraordinary because she didn't just get a 10% tip. She didn't even get a 50% tip. No, she got over 100% extra in tip money, equating to $2,000.
Do you want me to answer this question for you as far as what she did?
No, I don't want to know.
Every guy already knows the answer to this question. She must have been as fine as all get out. That's all it is.
Whatever the case, her fineness, her whatever made her a candidate for this $2,000 tip did not, in fact, land her as the direct recipient of this money as intended. And what I mean is, the Howlin' Wolf, like many restaurants around the country, has protective limits in place to limit fraud. They make it so that a tip cannot exceed a certain amount. The Howlin' Wolf had a few $100 maximum when it comes to the tip. The tip she got from Post Malone was $2,000, far exceeding the maximum. So the bar decided to withhold her tip and only give her what was within the parameters of their maximum limit. So Heather Foster was very upset. She took to social media, of course. Her posts went viral and people shared them around the city specifically, including different dignitaries, different politicians, including Helen Moreno, who happens to be likely to run for mayor the next term. And because of the social media pressure, the Howlin' Wolf decided to modify their tip restrictions and then awarded Heather Foster her full $2,000.
That's interesting because a lot of places that I frequent or people who I know who work in the service industry, they don't get tips that are left for them. They're kind of put in a big jar per se, and then they're distributed amongst all the staff, the bar backs, dishwashers, and the waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, that can happen. But in this case, Post Malone, the artist Post Malone, designated that this 2000 tip was for Heather Foster specifically. And the Howlin' Wolf collected that tip and payment through the Square app, which is that app where you slide your card, your debit, your credit card into this little machine and it runs it. This app collects a percentage, and the app and the restaurant, again, combine to create these limits for protection. They fortunately were able to undo those protections, and Heather Foster walked away with a $2,000 tip during Super Bowl weekend. An amazing feel-good story.
Don't spend it all at the Vagabond Inn.
Please do not. Another interesting story that comes out of the Super Bowl has to do with some black magic, voodoo. Well, there was a fan sitting in the stands during the game. This fan is an Eagles fan, as identified by the jersey that she is wearing. What people were also able to identify is that this fan, while sitting in the stands, was holding a doll. This doll seemed to be a crochet doll, small doll. It had on a Chiefs jersey with the number 15, which happens to be their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. And as she's sitting in the stands, this fan takes out a needle. She proceeds to then poke incessantly this doll in the back, in the chest, which of course people decided to record and upload to social media.
This is during the game.
Viral. This is during the game that the Chiefs then lost. And people are attributing a lot of that loss to this woman who is unknown at this time. She's anonymous, but that her tactics, her strategies, her black magic, her voodoo in the city of New Orleans, whether she is from New Orleans or not, which is very synonymous with magic and kind of the lore of all of this, that could have all combined to cause the Chiefs to lose the Super Bowl.
It is New Orleans.
It is New Orleans.
I dated one woman from New Orleans.
Careful.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. We'll have the second portion of the Viral Load with Tiffany Hobbs in just a moment.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now it's time for the Viral Load with Tiffany. Live on KFI's Later with Mo Kelly. She'll talk about the top hits on social media. The Viral Load with Tiffany Hobbs.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's Later with Mo Kelly, and this is part 2 of tonight's The Viral Load with me, Tiffany Hobbs. We're going to shift from the Super Bowl, which was the last segment. Make sure you listen on the iHeartRadio app. But this next section has a cacophony of feel-good stories, starting with, this might not necessarily be a feel-good story for all, but for some, the farmers who are essentially rising up to tell you that the egg shortage that we all are experiencing, or that you may have heard of, well, it is a real thing, and a way that you can circumvent the egg shortage is to, in fact, buy directly from farmers. There are quite a few farmers who have taken to social media to express their want to be supported as a way to circumvent the higher prices at grocery stores and big box chains. There's one shopper in particular who took to social media, one farmer in particular who took to social media to tell all of his followers about what he thinks is really happening when it comes to the egg shortage. Steph,
Hello.
can we go?
Hello, it's me again with another egg video. I thought I better get this one out there before the supermarkets put their story across and cancel everyone else out. So when you go into a supermarket now, you might see that there is a bit of an egg shortage. So not many eggs on the shelf to buy, not free range, not organic, nothing. So you're struggling to find eggs. Supermarkets are going to tell you this is because of avian flu. Which, to be fair, there has been a lot of cases of avian flu. But do you want to know the real reason why there's an egg shortage? It's because the supermarkets won't pay the farmers for the eggs. So the supermarkets have upped their price for you, the consumer. But they haven't filtered that price increase down to us, the farmers. So our cost of producing these eggs has skyrocketed. Feed, electric, the price of new birds, that's gone up. But our price of eggs has stayed the same. So we physically can't afford to produce these eggs. So currently there's been 8 million less free-range hens ordered for next year's flocks. So that's just under 8 million eggs every day.
So the feel-good aspect of this particular story comes from the fact that farmers are seeing on social media an insurgence of support for their farming, for their what they're producing. And again, they are inviting people to come patronize what they're doing locally, and the local farmers are seeing a boost in sales. So people are suggesting that if you want to, again, avoid the higher prices at grocery stores, what is being shared on social media is that you should buy directly from your local farmer.
How feasible is that? I mean, let's say I don't want to go to Ralph's. I don't want to go to Vaughn's, Pavilions, Gelson's. I don't want to feel like anyone's left out. My local farmer is where? What circumstance? How can I find him, her, them? What do I need to transport the eggs because they should be refrigerated or not? What do we do?
Well, what you do first is you take to the internet and you ask the internet, because I don't have the answers for all of that. But I definitely suggest what I would do is that you should go on Google or whatever the search engine is of your choice and ask for your local farmer location, a location or a list of local farmers that you can then visit and talk to them about how to purchase and how to then transport whatever products it is that you're trying to buy. And it's not just eggs. There's also other sorts of items there that you can purchase that are at a lower cost. And farmers are saying, hey, again, support us. Our prices, as you heard that young man say, are lower. We're incurring higher costs of production, but we're keeping our prices low. Come shop with us.
Right. You're paying for the convenience of going to the grocery store, which only may be a half a mile away.
Yes.
And getting more than just eggs. You can get other things, other dairy items and what have you, as opposed to going to the farmers for just 3 or 4 items.
Sure. But shop local, try it out. Now's as good a time as ever than to try a different alternative. The next story has to do with insurance. And in this current climate where big insurance companies have been under the proverbial gun for their policies, this story has a very happy ending. It starts off not so happily, though. There's a man, and he ended up going viral because he took to social media to advertise something. And I'll tell you what that something is. This man is from Omaha, and he needed a liver transplant, but his insurance denied the transplant, citing that it was not medically necessary. His insurance company, Anthem, decided that they would revoke the initial appeals from this man, Nathan Kirkland. And so in a last-ditch effort to not only share his plight with people and find community amongst his suffering and his fear, but also to maybe kind of put some pressure on the insurance company, Nathan Kirkland went to social media and posted about what he was going through, saying, hey, I need this liver transplant. My insurance coverage is being denied. Anthem is saying I don't qualify. What should I do? His post was shared very far and wide. It went viral many times over, and people picked up the story, including reporters and other journalists from his town in Omaha and also outside of Nebraska as well. It went viral just domestically around the country. And the pressure that was produced from the virality of his story got to Anthem. Once it got to Anthem, Nathan was contacted and he was told, hey, we see that your story essentially is gaining in popularity. We are going to reconsider our denial. We are going to take your appeal, and we are going to not only grant you this transplant, but we are also going to modify our policy going forward so that others who might be in a similar situation will not be denied on the basis of your procedure not being medically necessary. So because of the viral nature of Nathan Kirkland's health story, Anthem has changed their policy again, and this story has a happy ending because Nathan Kirkland was able to get his liver transplant.
If there's something that I can say in support of social media, is that it does provide a way for the powerless or seemingly powerless to shame and pressure the powerful. This doesn't happen without social media.
It does not happen without social media. And I have one correction. He has not received the transplant yet, but now he is on the list and is probably at the front of that list.
Want this done sooner than later.
To receive that transplant. Mo, do we have time for one last quick story?
One more.
So some of you might have been seeing on social media that Jennifer Hudson, the singer of American Idol fame many years ago, an actress in her own right, she is an EGOT. She is a very acclaimed entertainer. She has a new talk show, and it's been in production now for about 6 months. A part of the talk show is the entrance of the people she's interviewing, from celebrities to dignitaries, authors to cooks. Everyone goes down something called a spirit tunnel. The spirit tunnel is like a tunnel that the athletes, like football games or basketball players, would come out to, exactly, or come through to come to the field or to the floor. And all of these entertainers, all of these guests are invited to come down the tunnel, and they have a special song tailored to them. The songs have gone viral. The video clips have gone viral to the tune of, with the most popular being 65 million views on TikTok. That is for the actor Aaron Pierre, who is now the most viral TikTok from the Jennifer Hudson Spirit Tunnel. But this is a wave. This is a phenomenon all itself. The executive producer and showrunner, Andy Lassner, told USA Today that he's never seen this in his 40 years of working in production and TV, and that guests get so revved up and energetic to come out that it is unlike, again, anything he's ever experienced, and it makes it a beautiful, beautiful show. So you can see the Spirit Tunnel on YouTube or on social media. It is viral all over the place. A lot of fun.
When we come back, we have the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. And I'm not so sure about some of the names on this list, and I'm quite sure you'll probably agree. Except for Mark, we don't agree on much. We'll find out in just a moment. KFI AM 640, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And the list of the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees is now out. Let me start the conversation as I do every single year, because invariably someone's going to say, well, that artist is not rock and roll, or that artist only sang pop music. It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's not about the rock and roll genre. Think of it as the Music Hall of Fame. It's for artists who have been consequential, influential, impactful on a music level, on a society or cultural level impact. It's not whether you are a rock artist. So if you want to get your ass on your shoulders and say, how did that rap group get in? You don't understand. It's not the rock and roll genre music Hall of Fame. It's basically a music Hall of Fame, general music Hall of Fame, and it was named the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And this has always been true since the very beginning, where the first class inducted was Elvis Presley, James Brown, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Ray Charles, definitely not rock and roll, Chuck Berry, Sam Cooke, not rock and roll. The Everly Brothers, not rock and roll. Buddy Holly and Jerry Lee Lewis. It's inclusive of the rock genre, but it's not exclusive to the rock genre. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, and I'll say it again next year when you start complaining, not knowing what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. And this for us is just yes, no. With our vast and wide musical knowledge, we'll go around and say, is this group, is this artist who has been nominated impactful, influential, consequential, and to qualify, it has to be at least 25 years since your first released single. Okay? And for me, this is all subjective. You know, consequential, impactful is subjective, but there's some people, as far as I'm concerned, automatic yeses. Some of those are like, I might have to live and sit with their discography a little while longer, or someone needs to make a compelling argument, and you might get my buy-in. And some are like, no, I don't think so. It's the Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of the Mediocre, Hall of the So-So, or Hall of the One-Hit Wonders. That's just me. Now, it's voted on by like 500 different people, and they've got 500 different opinions. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here who give their opinions. And we all know something, a little something about different genres. So let's get to the list. The White Stripes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Nope.
I need to hear a more compelling argument than just yes.
The White Stripes and
Seven Nation
Jack
Army.
White, what they have done for music and how they pushed that form of rock music forward was transcendent at a time when rock music largely was not making or crossing over to pop radio. It was relegated to just rock stations. When the White Stripes came out, pop radio stations, and they started getting more recognition. Bands across the board started getting more mainstream recognition, and that is because of the White Stripes and what Jack White did, also crossing over with different rap groups, different pop groups, period. As just a prolific producer, yes, absolutely.
Soundgarden.
Are we kidding?
Yes.
This is yes.
That's a
Sure.
yes. Yeah. Oh,
Look, I will sing Black Hole Sun to the day I die.
or any of the interpretations of it, be it jazz, gospel. There's so many different interpretations of just that one song
Yeah.
alone.
Just that one song
Yes.
alone. Fish. Phish, of course. I was never a fan of Fish, but I will listen to the argument as far as their influence.
Yeah.
I'm lukewarm on Fish.
I was going to say I'd have to listen to an argument for that one.
I have none.
Okay. All right. So that's one where we're kind of in agreement on. It's like,
Yeah.
Someone's got to make an argument. Outcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we can't.
course.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
In
Don't
the
you?
Here we go again.
Mark.
See, we did this last year. I gave the explainer in the beginning.
still
Were you
doesn't
not
get it.
listening?
Oh, I was listening. I just
Mark.
that's a thumbs down.
Mark,
What-
There's more people than Frank Sinatra. You know that, right?
Mark,
I do. Thank you.
In Mark, in terms of music, what Outkast did not only for the Atlanta music scene, for Southern rap, period, and what they did for just music in general, for what Andre 3000 and Big Boy have done to contribute to the growth and proliferation of hip hop around the world.
I don't know if there's
is
a bigger
uncanny.
rap duo in the 1990s, early
Or
2000s.
more transcendent.
More
I don't know.
transcendent, yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
I mean, it's not the hill I want to die on, but I think the average person would be hard pressed to name a handful of their greatest.
Oh, you'd be wrong. Hey,
Okay.
hey,
All right. Like I
Probably
said,
songs that you know that you don't even know was them.
yeah.
I bet that's probably true.
Okay.
There are a bunch of hits they've had.
do
A
they
bunch of
belong
them.
alongside Elvis and the Stones and all those guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's a no. Okay,
I'm
please
look, I'm
proceed.
sorry, it's not in your rotation. But
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as, again, for me, it's consequential, cultural impact, influential, checks all those boxes. Next one, Oasis.
Absolutely not.
I can only think of one song.
I
don't know if
say
they had the
yes.
impact. Go ahead.
I
Tiffany.
say yes because of how culturally relevant, how popular they were in the 90s. They were everywhere. You couldn't do anything without hearing an Oasis song or
Beyond
seeing an
Wonderwall?
Oasis video. Beyond Wonderwall, and their feud was legendary. Put them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for their feud alone.
They're still feuding. They tried to get back together, and they started fighting on
It's not
stage
over
or
yet.
something.
Yeah.
They canceled the tour, the reunion tour.
Invite them.
Put him in the Jerry Springer Hall of Fame, not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, and I'll claim ignorance on this next one. Mana?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now here's the thing.
Yeah,
So I'm not a Mana fan. However, I do know that they sell out wherever they go. They go over to the Forum and they sell out
What genre?
multiple times a year. They are Spanish rock.
Okay.
To
Spanish rock?
Mark's point, they're like the Rolling Stones of Mexico.
There you go.
It's not the one with the Muppets going, mana, mana.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey, look, no joke. I thought that instantly. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
I took the easy one.
Expand your minds, guys.
Okay, Joy Division / New Order.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Okay, make the argument, please. Make the argument.
100%. Very influential new wave band.
I know they're new wave. I'm just saying I don't.
What's the argument? Like, what is the song that we could say was consequential?
Did New Order do
influential
Blue
within-
Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about, but that's the only song that I
Oh,
know.
they're
of theirs.
terrific. Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that qualify under the one hit wonder Hall of Fame? Like, wouldn't that exclude them?
I said I could only name one. That was just me.
One sounds like a one hit wonder. I'm just curious, Mark. I don't know. I don't know that song enough for it to be a thing, but you said it so quickly. I'm like, man, like Mark.
No.
Well,
the one
maybe-
song is a thing. I just don't know beyond the one.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not a scholar of their whole discography, but they were giants of the 80s.
All right. Can we at least agree on Cyndi Lauper?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Everybody loves Cindy.
Yeah.
Lauper.
Okay.
Everyone listens to
Can we agree on Billy Idol?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not in it already?
Right.
Right.
That was the shocker.
that when you said that, I thought you were saying like, are we just throwing out names that are already in there that we can agree on?
White Wedding.
Absolutely.
Joe Cocker. Yes.
Yeah.
Chubby Checker. Yes.
Sure. Wow.
Bad.
Why'd you say sure like that? What was that?
Well, no. I agree.
Oh,
Okay. Bad Company. I maybe I need someone else to make the argument for him.
I don't know.
yeah.
I'm on the fence.
Yeah. The Black Crowes. I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Definitely yes.
For influence for that one song alone. Jesus H. Christ. Yes.
Oh, look, she has too many hits to even name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Culturally relevant, obviously,
Yeah.
for more than 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think we pretty much agreed on most of them, with the exception of Mark Ronner and Outkast.
I mean, he
which is
really
so-
went left on
Oh my
that
God.
Outcast. I'm like,
Goodness
man, like
gracious.
talk about
He
I don't
is-
know music.
He is the outcast
In
in this group
well
right
done.
now.
Yeah, it was not the only time.
I think it's fun when you guys try to gang up on me.
Gang up on you.
you.
You basically said, throw rocks at me, please. You asked for it.
Yeah, it's like a Reddit roast me.
You put the sign on your own back, good
see
sir.
what- you see
Kick
what
me
you're
here.
wearing?
Roast away.
Get the easy ones right. My goodness.
You like what you like.
Oh, this is not about what we like.
It's about what you like.
No, there are artists on this list that I don't particularly care for. Like I would not call myself a Black Crowes fan, but I can't deny their impact and cultural relevance and consequences. Two different things.
I think the Black Crowes are marginal. I don't have anything against them, but I don't think they're giants of rock and roll.
There you go. You keep qualifying it. Giants of rock and roll. It's not rock and roll genre specific.
There's no need to be pedantic. You know what I mean when I say
I'm
giants
not
of rock
being
and roll.
pedantic. That's the part of the damn criteria. It's not reserved for only rock genre.
I think the bar's kind of lowered here for inclusion into this Hall of Fame.
You calling it a
What's
DEI?
that?
Hall of
Say
Fame?
like,
What is this? Say what you mean.
No
Say what you
DEI
mean.
in the
say what you mean.
Yeah, the Black Crowes are DEI recipients. That's it. Yeah. You got me. You busted me.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And before we go, I just have a basic question. And it's for everyone in the studio because it kind of informs my final thought tonight. Stefan, do you find yourself getting stressed because of political conversations that you may have with someone or online?
I would say generally no.
Okay. Mark Ronner, what about you? The state of politics today.
I think you know the answer to that.
Okay.
Without even asking. But,
I thought I would ask you for public, consumption.
the only way not to be stressed is not to pay attention. It's a stressful time.
Okay. Tiffany Hobbs, what about you?
Yes, and everything seems to take on a political tone, even when you're trying to avoid it. So, yes, it can be stressful.
Okay, it kind of informs my final remarks tonight, and I want to put it within that context. If you find yourself being more stressed out because of politics, researchers have actually quantified that as to why. And I often say when I'm not working, I don't talk about politics. I'll post some snark on social media. I will from time to time, but I don't always. And I don't want to go deep with people because it begins to stress me out. It absolutely stresses me out, which is almost a contradiction. But all of my TV work, if you've been paying attention, is political. And some of my radio work is too. So I need some time to balance that out. There's a national survey on stressors conducted by the American Psychological Association, or APA, for 2024 found that the future of the nation, or politics, was the leading cause of significant stress among adults, with nearly 8 in 10, 77%, reporting it as a major source of anxiety. And here are some of the other takeaways from this and other comparable studies. Everyday political events can cause harm psychological and to our physical well-being. In fact, politics can harm people's well-being as much or more than, get this, alcohol. A study conducted in 2017 estimated that 94 million Americans felt politics caused significant stress, 44 million lost sleep, 30 million suffered physical health harm, and 11 million had suicidal thoughts, effects comparable to or worse than those associated with alcohol, except none of the buzz or none of the great sex connected to it. That's just my little addendum. In short, our politics is killing us. But wait, there's more. The multiple studies concluded not only are politics-related well-being issues worsened for many in recent years, political polarization is linked with worse anxiety and depression. And here's my takeaway and one I give to you. If the country is going to hell, and we all have our theories as to why or whether it is or who is responsible, here's the truth. You won't have any real say in it or saving it. I know you think that posting on social media is going to make a difference, but I'm here to tell you it will not. I know that if you think if you insult enough people in real life or in cyberspace, it's going to make a difference. It will not. It's not going to change anything. Either the country's going to go to hell or it won't go to hell. This is my recommendation. Do like I do and know when to let it go. It's not worth your health. It's not worth your peace. And most importantly, it's not worth your life. Know when to just let it go. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
Perfect for achy, indecisive minds. KFI's cooling Info Gel quickly relieves ignorance and leaves a minty fresh scent.
KFI
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live